Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dobo podcast, and I'm here with Mr. Dan Lingaya. To give context, Dan is a very close friend of ours, and he's for the past 3 years we've been
Yeah.
working together with our clients, and he's a Facebook ad strategist, our media buyer who handles most of our ads here. Um, so, Dan, can you tell me more about yourself and what you actually do when it comes to your line of work?
Thank you, Charles. And it's very nice to be here on the show.
Hmm.
So thank you very much. So yeah, I'm Dan Lingaya and I've been a media buyer since 2019. So I've been through quite a lot of changes. I've survived quite a lot of
Yeah.
changes. And I've worked with Double Ads for a few years already. And as a media buyer, basically, I am the bridge between the business and the Meta platform. So, in a sense, I help you realize all of your plans, creative plans, and put them up on FB and, get the sales for you. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So when it comes to that, like you're basically running the ads for businesses, you're managing them.
Mm.
What does that what does that look like um, from the perspective of a business owner?
Mm.
What does that dynamic look like right now compared to like 2 years ago where I've dabbled with media buying in the past,
Mm.
and it's very complicated. It's very
Mm.
technical when it
Mm.
comes to, setting it up,
Mm.
targeting. But after quite some time, we've been talking about it. Like it's more about creatives
Mm.
now. So can you give us your perspective in
Mm.
terms of what media buying looks like right now compared to the past?
In the past, media buying, or just to give an idea to the business owners, before, if you don't really have a very good product or a very good offer,
Mm.
and if your systems is not really that solid yet, if you have a good media buyer, you're good to go. You can fly your plane, so to
Yeah.
speak. But right now, media buying it has changed, and I like that change actually, because media buying now entails for you to really be a partner of the founder or the business owner. The dynamics will not be the business owner telling you what to do. You really collaborate, you partner with the business owner. This is what the data is saying. Now this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna approach it, or where we're gonna adjust. So before, you were kind of a button clicker if you were a media buyer before. And I know it because I've been there. But right now, what I really, really love is that you're more of a strategist and you're really a partner of the business owner, or the business itself.
Yeah. Talking further about that,
Mm.
in terms of the updates for the media buying platform like Facebook, is it really, you've mentioned that it's quite simpler right now, that your it's more of like analyzing the creatives and communicating it to the owner. So in terms of handling creative, you've mentioned that it's quite simple right now. Is it because of, can you talk to can you talk us through like the latest updates when it comes to how media is being handled through Meta right now? Like there's ASC, there's AI, and can you talk us further into the new way of media buying right now?
Yeah. Um, I like that question. The new way of media buying right now is, as I've said, it's something that I really like, because you're kind of stepping up into, a more strategic role for the business. Meaning, if uh, if if you embrace the role of a new media buying, you become really a strategic partner of the business. How so? So that means before, media buying mostly relies on clicking buttons, setting up interest targeting, manual bidding, duplicating, increasing budget, and all. There are even rules that you can set up on Ads Manager. But right now, it's really more on you have to involve yourself with the planning. You really have to deep dive on the customer avatars of the clients. What problems are they solving? And then the planning of the creatives itself, you have to involve yourself with that already. And so if you think about it, your role now is not just simply setting up the ads on Ads Manager.
Yeah.
It's from the ground up to the sales part itself. So that's why I say I really love it, because it enables it's a challenge for all media buyers to for you to survive. You really have to be that. You have to be the strategic partner. So you help plan, develop the creatives, set up the ads, optimize, analyze, and then say it to your client in a way na it's not overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So from a very technical, lower level skill when it comes to like setting up ads, media buying is more of a higher level skill right now, because it requires you to analyze it well, what works, and then find a way to communicate that to the brand,
Yes.
what's working right now.
Exactly.
So I can argue that media buying right now heavily relies on research, getting to know your customer more on customer psychology. Isn't that right?
Yes, I agree. That's a totally accurate statement, Charles. You really, you really have to be adept, or you really have to force, or really enjoy the process of learning sales, marketing, psychology, so that you can help plan the creatives, and then gauge if it's effective or not. So yeah,
And there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to that, right?
yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's not just like setting up the ad itself, but you have to look into the offer, the landing page, the different aspects when it comes to that. So what do you think is the most important element in this process?
Actually, as a media buyer, all of these are important. But I think the most important part here is, as a media buyer, how will you glue everything together? There's the research, there's the data, there are the customer avatars, there are, the statement of problems, and then presenting the product or service of the client as a solution. And then there's Ads Manager setup,
Yeah.
creative, ad copy and everything, and then optimization. So the most important part there is, how will you glue everything together? You're just a one-man guy, but now the demand is, you have to be like this. So how will you keep it together? That's I think that's the most important thing. So if business owners will look for media buyers, I think one of their criteria, or one of the things that they should look for is this media buyer simply just relying on his skill on Ads Manager, or is he a media buyer who is also adept in psychology of selling, or science of selling, sales and marketing? So those are the things that you should look for, as business owners.
Going deeper into the business owner's perspective, especially for those who are starting out with their business, e-com wise, when do you think is the best time for them to start from organic to paid marketing, like running ads on Meta? What do you think is the criteria for that?
That's a very good question. So normally the journey of the business is, sometimes they start running ads right away, and that could be totally fine. But most of the time, the business owner's journey is, they start getting sales. Either they sell on their own, or they're getting organic traffic from, all of their marketing stuff, and, social media, and all of that stuff. But they will know, or for them to know if they are ready to start running paid ads, first and foremost is, are people already buying their product or service? Because if people are buying, that means they are solving that problem of the people, and that people believe in the product and in them already. So there should be people who are already buying. And next is, they should have budget at least. So if we talk about budget, how much should the business owners kind of prepare before they kind of start thinking, I think I should run paid ads already. So they should have to think, for the next 6 months, every month, how much is my revenue goal? Because not a lot of business owners think that way. So when you start running ads, you have to think, okay, what's my monthly goal? And then you have to allocate at least 10 to 15%.
For ad spend.
Yes. So, because a lot of business owners just jump right into running ads without even realizing, oh, I didn't have my revenue goal, so I'll just, spend whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a very big mistake. So,
What kind of mistakes owners usually make when it comes to paid ads? Like when they start running, what common misconceptions do they usually do they usually say or see when it comes to running ads?
there's a lot actually, and I've encountered these clients over the past few years. But I think just to name a few, one is that the major mistake of the client is, they think that the moment they hire a media buyer, that everything will be okay.
Yeah.
That they will get sales. Within 24 hours, they will get sales. So that's one major mistake or misconception. Running ads, it entails patience. So another mistake or misunderstanding that business owners have is that they can just run ads without learning. So they have to learn sales, they have to learn marketing, and they have to learn psychology as well, because you have to be a part of the business. So that's another thing. That's the third thing. They always assume that they can just hand over everything to the media buyer. So an analogy, for example, is you're a parent. You have a newborn child, and you're looking for someone who will help you nurture that child. And then right on the first day that you meet each other, you just simply say, here's the child. That's it. I'm hands off, right?
Yeah.
So kind of like that, there are business owners who have that kind of mindset, and they will really be heartbroken because that baby or that business will die within the next 7 days. So, those are some of the major mistakes that they really make. So they cannot just hand over anything right there and then. They have to be involved. They have to get dirty. That's the requirement right now. So
Yeah. So the dynamic between the founder and the media buyer, especially in the early stages, they need to act like co-parents.
yes, exactly. So that's exactly the type of media buyer you should look for. Because in my experience, a lot of media buyers are kind of, intimidated,
Yeah.
in working with a founder, especially, in a startup, for example. If it's a small or medium-sized business, a lot of the times it's really the founder. That's everything. So a lot of media buyers are kind of intimidated by that. They don't want to talk with the founder or kind of tell the founder what to do. But right now, you should be the strategic partner or ally of the business owner. So
You're basically the backbone when it comes to conversions
yes,
and sales in a way.
Yes.
You're the
Yes.
one that bridges the gap between the business and the customers themselves. So right now, being a media buying is a lot easier right now. But when it comes to the job itself and what it entails, it requires a lot more skill
Yeah,
right
yeah. It's very ironic, right? Everything kind of became simpler at the surface level,
now.
but it became kind of deeper. So it's kind of an iceberg. The surface is kind of it's there, but if you look at the deeper level, right below sea level surface, it's much deeper, and it really requires you to really push yourself to really learn. And as I've mentioned, excuse me, there are a lot of moving parts, and the most important thing is how are you going to keep yourself together, as you move those parts.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things to consider, and you
Yeah.
need to take into account everything in that space. So when it comes to like running ads on Meta right now, what do you think, or like paid media in general, like running ads in general for your business, what do you think is the biggest challenge that you need to face or you need to learn right now?
The biggest challenge is how to be above average,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of templates now. There's AI now. You know, practically you can manufacture anything out of thin air. You can have a video, you can have a slideshow all of a sudden. But that may be a bad thing for some, but that's a good thing because that will kind of average everybody out.
It evens out the playing field right now.
Yes. So the challenge there now is how do you become above average? You kind of stand out from the crowd. So basically it's all about this sounds simple, but it's not. It's all about really knowing your customers. What are their problems? And then how are you gonna bridge your product or service as the solution? That's it. That's where it really revolves around.
Yeah. Going back to what you said, I actually like that statement where it's a bit ironic. Everything right now is easier on the surface level. Anyone can make an ad, anyone
yeah.
can make a good video, even a high quality video through AI. But it all boils down to the fundamentals. If you don't have a good base when it comes to writing a good ad or launching a good ad, it won't be as effective compared to a person who has years of experience
Yeah.
in the field.
Yeah.
If you compare it to like a new guy with AI, it's not that. I think in my opinion, AI is not there yet when it comes to like building ads for you. We've been working together and
Yeah.
we've been using AI, ChatGPT,
Yeah.
Claude,
Yeah.
Poppy,
Yeah.
and it's made the process a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I think the concerning part there is it's made it easier for everyone.
Yeah.
So how do you stand out? How do you make your ad better and more performing than than our competitors? So let's talk about AI. How do you use AI in your workflow right now?
That's a really good topic. Actually, AI kind of permeates every fiber of my workflow, from the moment I create contents to get leads for clients or students, to reporting all of our sales, that we've achieved for the client. AI is woven into that fabric. So, but for media buying, it's you can now get a lot of data just using AI. You can scrape data using AI. You can scrape the behavior of the people, the clicks, the keywords, the sites, the problems that they're looking into. So you can already have data. Now, the next work is how will you process that data and make it, chewable, or into chunks, and then come up with, for example, you can ask ChatGPT to do a deep research now if you're into ChatGPT Plus. So, but what do you do with that data? So now for example, you come up with customer avatars, and then those customer avatars have problems, and then you connect those problems to the product as the solution, and then come up with creative ways. How are you going to present it to your audience? And down to analysis and all, you can already have AI. But you mentioned there, it made the work a lot easier, but it demanded more fundamentals. So people will already know now if you're not really a real expert.
Yeah.
They will really know it, the way you say it, the way, the nuances, the way you say. You could talk about metrics, but you might not have really a lot of concrete examples, or deep examples. So, in a way, if you look at it, it's bad. But if you really look deep down, it's an opportunity for those people who are really, putting their nose down on things, or ads, for example, to really stand out.
Yeah.
So,
I guess I can see it as an advantage as well. They see it as an opportunity for them to, where everyone is even. It's easier for you to differentiate yourself because a lot of things are very simple to do right now. And I coming from the creative's perspective, anyone can write a script.
Yeah.
Compared to 3 years ago, where you actually need to have an expert script writer in the field, where now anyone can write a script, but not everyone can write a good script.
Yes.
And that goes with media buying as well, with ads as well. Everyone can write an ad, but not everyone can make that great ad that can run for months on the end. So when it comes to like running ads for your client, or before you start, you audit their page or their ad account. What are the key things that you look into? What are the red flags you've come across when it comes to analyzing the ad account?
Yeah. So, for example, if there are business owners who come to me for, if they want us to run their ads, a lot of the times these business owners have already dabbled with ads. They've already tried running it. They kind of DIY it already. So, most of the time, the key mistakes that I see there is they just run 1 or 2 ads. That's it. And it's been running for like 6 months or to a year. And they come to us and say, okay, we're having a problem. So right there and then, that's the thing I check. Was there testing happening? Or is it just kind of, throw everything on the wall and, find out what sticks? So also, a lot of the times, business owners, their mistake is they panic. They panic. For example, on day 1, they don't have a sale. They completely overhaul all of their ads. They change everything. And that panic springs from the fact that they did not really do their due diligence, which is research, know their customers, connect their customers to, their product as a solution. So,
okay. So, in terms of research, this is for the brands who are still starting right now. What do you think is the best way to research or find good ideas when it comes to making ads or running them?
This is what I always do. Whenever there's a client, or we're crafting ideas for creatives, we would always look at competitor. What are they doing right now? Not necessarily to copy them, but just to find out what's working. Because if you're a business owner, if you want to check your competitors, you will know when something is working, when they keep using those ads. And if those ads have been active for like 6 months. Because as an advertiser, you wouldn't spend on anything if it's not working.
Yeah.
So if it's been running for a long time, you can check the ads library. Those are the best sources of, not to copy, but
But to check.
get inspiration from.
Yeah.
And another thing is go to Amazon. Amazon has so far the best collection of reviews of the different products and services being offered all over the world. So you get ideas there. So the key here is when you research, it's not to copy. It's to get as much data as you can
To
and
validate.
make something of your own, for your product and and for your customers. So there.
Yeah. So I actually like the first thing that you actually did was to check the competitors to see what kind of messaging was working,
Yeah.
the type of ad framework. But I would like to add more to that. What we usually do was to check for the competitors, check all the commonalities, what's trend, what are the current trends right now for the competitors, and find a way and answer the question, how do we stand out? How do we stand out from the competitors? So what we've done as well, working with the brands that we've handled, was to do the opposite of what's
Okay.
working.
Okay.
So yeah, it's also a good strategy. So for example, if you have, let's say, like a nail polish brand, and majority of the competitors, they seem, their aesthetic is similar. They have that clean minimalist look. They have skinny or good looking talent there. So
You do the opposite.
we do the opposite. So we've been dealing
Yes,
with.
that's a really good tactic. If they're all going to the left,
You go to
you
the
will
right.
definitely stand out if you go to the right.
Yeah.
So it's a really good marketing tactic. So that's really helpful. So for business owners, there are a lot of ways, and already by now you can already utilize AI. I myself use AI to research not only the things that I mentioned, but using AI actually right now, you can get actual sources, actual links, whether it's video or whether it's a commentary or it's a blog or if it's a product description from the website itself.
Yeah.
You can already collate those. So those are really, it would take you weeks kind of to do a good enough research, but right now you can already do it within the day, and it's comprehensive. So right now AI has already allowed us to automate a lot of the stuff. So what's left now is, how are you going to make sense of that information that you have gotten very easily and really fast, and make sure to make it resonate with your audience and make them buy your product or service. So
Yeah.
that's where
And it all
the work
boils
is
down
now.
back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting data, getting research is easier right now. There has to be a catch to that. And that
Yes.
catch is it goes back to you. It goes back to your knowledge, your expertise about the brand and the fundamentals in ad psychology. So yeah, it's going back to what you've said. Like everything is level right now. The playing field is level. And to add to what you've mentioned, what do business owners have to do in order to be successful? You have to wear multiple hats right now.
Yes. Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. You have to be ready to really, get yourself out there, get yourself muddy, blooded, and, messed up, because that's what it really requires. You cannot, everything is easy. That's the irony now. Everything is easy, but it's at the same time difficult. So it's easy because everybody uses AI, but how do you break through? How do you stand out? So it really entails a lot of effort on the part of the business owner. Do you really have You really have to learn. You can't just be complacent, or you can't just hand off anything, especially if you're a small business owner, small medium-sized business owner. And also, um, if they want to know, for example, if they are running ads, or maybe somebody runs their ads for them, and if they do not know this, all they have to do is just to check one metric, and it will give them uh, a lot of information about how their ads are doing. If they will just check their CTR, if their CTR is low, what do I mean by low? If it's, for example, 0.5% or 0.8%, CTR is derived from your impressions. So how many times your ads were shown? If you're not able to stop the scroll of at least 1%, that means your ads, is boring for the people that you are targeting. So if your CTR is high, that already gives you an idea. When I say high, it should be at least 1 or 1.5%, but what I always require is at least 2 to 3% nowadays. That means you're able to stop the scroll. Because when we talk about sales in ads, it starts with stopping the scroll. So CTR, that means you've stopped the scroll. And if your CTR is high, but there are no conversions, maybe there's something wrong with the website, with the sales process, with your sales team. So you have to check. If your CTR is doing okay, you have add to cart, and you have sales, then that means everything is good. But in some cases, like in some of the clients we've worked with, some CTR are really low, depending on the industry. There are industries that are really like that. For example, industries that are really have high order value. For example, like they range between $500 to $1,000. So normally the CTRs there are really low. But that's where the conversions and the average order values are really high. So, but most of the time, CTR is your good benchmark if you are starting out. And a lot of business owners also ask me this. When they DIY their ads, or if they look for media buyers, they also have to ask, what is your usual workflow weekly? So, because nowadays, everybody can just launch their own ads. This is where discipline comes in. So, discipline in a sense that you have to have a schedule. Like, for example, Monday will be your launch day for ads. And then by Wednesday, you check, are the ads okay? And then by Friday, you determine, okay, these ads are working okay. And then by Sunday, you already plan out what's next. So you just do it that way. Because if you won't have that, then, it's going to get chaotic.
So you really have to spend that much time and effort if you really want to have high converting ads.
Yes.
And CTR,
Yes.
you can say CTR is king
Yeah.
when it comes to running the ads. So going back to optimizing those metrics like CTR, conversion rates, your ROAS, what type of ads or what kind of ads usually work right now? I know you've been handling different kinds of industries, different kinds of assets, but for the people who are starting out with running ads, what key things would you recommend when it comes to creating the ads itself?
Right now, based on the data that we've been seeing with multiple businesses, not only in the same industry but varied industry. Some of the businesses we've worked with are online schools, construction, equipment, photography, videography, and of course e-commerce. Standout creatives are number one, POV, or point of view. Like the person is using the product. How does it look like? So that's really stand out. Another thing is UGC. UGC style creatives, as long as it's authentic, and it's more social proof driven, and kind of what's the transformation that that your business or product is offering the audience. So yeah, POV and UGC, and also uh, before and after, but you have before and after kind of ad, but
transformation.
without the side by side. That's kind of a nuance, because when you do that, it shouts ad before and after. It's kind of a cliche already,
Yeah.
but you have to find a creative way to express that kind of ad without the before and after side by side, because it shouts ad, and when it shouts, your ads look like ads. It's not gonna look good for your audience.
Yeah.
But if your ads doesn't look like ads, it looks like kind of something posted by a friend,
Yeah.
or posted in the community, then that's a good ad.
So basically, if your ad looks like an ad, it isn't a good ad.
Yeah. Correct.
That's basically it.
Correct.
Yeah. Because what you've mentioned, the types of ads that you've mentioned, like the POV, UGC, I think the similar aspect of these types of ads is that they look organic.
Yes, exactly.
And I think it goes back to the intention of the viewer. When you go to social media, the intent is for the viewer to be entertained, to check out what's new, not necessarily to look at ads.
Yes.
And in our line of work, the goal is to make our ads blend in
Yes.
with their FYP.
Exactly. So if the post or the ad is it's not heavily polished, it's it's gonna get consumed by your target audience. So that's good news for business owners who think that you need studio polished or heavily polished ads. You spend thousands on your ads just to make it work. It doesn't have to be. You could use your phone. You just have to have creativity, and of course you know who you're talking to. So those are all good.
And it goes back to what we've mentioned earlier. Like, if everything is easier to create right now, especially with AI, everything looks polished right now, and it's a good way to stand out if your ad looks organic as much as possible, because people crave more organic content more than ever.
Yes.
Going back to the Meta platform, which is our main platform right now when it comes to running ads, what are the major changes right now in terms of how we operate with Meta?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I know a lot of people are already, hearing about this, the word Andromeda. So that's the buzz right now. Well, basically, Andromeda is, the AI engine of Facebook that allows it to process the billions of ads, that we're putting out. So with the advent of, AI assisted, creatives generation, a lot of ads are flooding in the system of Meta. So that's why there's Andromeda now. So it will filter the non-performing ads. So that means now that the moment your ads are ignored by your audience, they're not going to be seen by everybody else. So the implication there is that, again, it goes back to knowing your customer, and it goes back to creatives right away. You really have to plan out your creatives. You can't just simply put random creatives. So even the Facebook team says the creatives are now your targeting. So it means on your creatives, you already have to make sure that your creatives will answer the question, who are we talking to? Are we solving a problem for this person in that creative? And what's our call to action for them?
So what's the ratio right now? Because the way I see it, like media buying and creatives, they're a bit separate in terms of the whole process. You shoot, you produce, and then you launch through media buying. What's the proportion, or for business owners right now, what do they need to focus on? Do they focus on creative or setting up the technical aspects of media buying?
So before, it used to be that, the technical stuff of the media buying, the button clicking and everything is the major deal. But right now, if you ask me, the proportion should be 80% on creative and 20% on managing, or, putting up or clicking buttons, setting up, stacking interest, whatever, on ads manager. So it should be 80-20. A lot of your times should be focused on planning better creatives. And 20% of the time, which ironically I know 90% of business owners spend their time on the 20%, which is, I'm gonna test interest, I'm gonna unclick this button, I'm gonna put bid cap, or manual bidding, whatever it is, CBO, ABO. So it shouldn't be like that anymore.
So the reality right now is we need to be more intentional when it comes to the creative side of things, compared to in the past, where you focus on all the little pieces, little tactics when it comes to managing your ads. Going back to, like, this is for people who want to start running ads. What do you think are the actionable steps right now that they should take before running the ads, and then while they're running it?
So, well, of course, before they run ads, they have to make sure they already have a Facebook page. So there should be a Facebook page already for your business. And then they should have an ads manager already. So if they are boosting posts, they will already be able to see ads manager. And also, they have to prepare their creatives. So if we look at it, creatives is the very first thing that the people see about the business. So you're putting your best foot forward, so to speak. So the creatives should really involve a lot of planning. So for example, you just simply have to ask yourself, to develop a good creative, who is my customer? What problem am I solving for this customer? What do I want the customer to take action? Just answer these and you will have a very good creative
Good
idea
foundation.
already. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of kind of, if we say it complicates, a lot of things are complicated, but if you just look at it, it all boils down to the fundamentals again. Because when you say creatives, right now there's a lot of noise in terms of creatives, right? But you can really break through, the creatives and stop the scroll if you know your audience. If you know their pain points, if you know their desires, and if you can articulate that in your ads, then sky's the limit for you.
Nice. So it just all boils down to the fundamentals back again. With everything being easy with AI, from production to handling. It all boils down to your knowledge about basic human psychology in the end.
Yes. Because right now we're still advertising to humans. Who knows, we might advertise to AI in the next few years.
Yeah.
But right now we're still selling, we're advertising to humans, and the human psychology hasn't really changed that much. So if for business owners, one of the best ways to really catch the attention of the people, to stop them scroll, is to talk about their problems, to talk about a threat. For example, if you're a business owner selling supplements, you can tap into the fear of missing out.
Yeah. FOMO.
Yes. If you're not taking this vitamin, then you're losing this. You're not sleeping well, something like that. So our minds are wired to deflect or to kill threats right away, more than chasing opportunities. because we live for millions of years in the wild.
Yeah.
And in the wild, you could get eaten anytime. So threats are really, we're on high alert. So it's still like that right now. Our brains are still like that, even though we live in a modern world. So once you do that, you can really get the attention.
I like that insight where our brains are wired to deflect or solve problems
Yeah.
because it's more painful to lose $10 than winning $10.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why the fear of missing out is a very powerful tool when it comes to making ads about that.
Yes, exactly.
So just to wrap it all up, basically, media buying is just one of those elements when you want to have a successful campaign. But it just boils down to your knowledge about the customer and how you deliver that message to them. Is that right?
That is correct. And a lot of things have been very easy for us. A lot of stuff are now easy for us, literally. But then again, it even more accentuates or highlights the necessity to really know the fundamentals, to really be in the trenches, to really, get yourself out there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you guys, you've heard it from the best. And yeah, it just goes to show, like, if everything is easier right now, you have to go back to the fundamentals. You can't just make an effective ad out of thin air or out of
Yes.
AI. You need to learn by yourself and utilize the tools that we have right now. So thank you so much for your time, Dan. And
You're
I
very
hope
welcome.
we could continue to talk about this on our future episodes.
Yeah.
I think we're cut for time right now. But if there's anything you'd like to say, if you have something to plug in, or how can people reach you right now?
Thank you, Charles. They can just simply go to danlingaya.com. That's DANLINGAYA.com. And, they can check there how I can help them out.
You have a community as well, right?
Yes, we have a community, Master FB Ads by Dan. A lot of my audiences right now are mostly Filipino business owners or media buyers. So I can either help them start off with a mini course if they want to kind of learn the ropes, or if they want a one-on-one consultation, if they have, if they DIY their ads, I can help them out via Zoom call. Or if they want a VIP class where every week I'm with them, teaching them, answering their questions about Facebook ads. We do have a VIP group as well. So, and if they want us to run their ads for them, they can reach out to you.
Or you could easily reach out Dan as well. So yeah, I hope you could take the time to explore what Dan has to offer. And thank you so much for your time. And
Yes.
that's about it for us. Thanks for watching.
Bye.